Sorry, Your Honor, the plaintiff called James Hughbanks.
Okay. All right, sir, just call the right here. Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth?
Yes, I am.
Police court, counsel.
You may begin.
Good afternoon. If you could possibly introduce yourself to the jury here.
Yes, I'm James Hughbanks. Live in Bradenton, Florida.
Okay. And how long have you lived in Bradenton?
Since 2005. Been in Sarasota since '99.
Right. And what do you do for a living, Mr. Hughbanks?
I am a catastrophic insurance adjuster. I also own a mobile app development company, and I'm a part-time musician.
All right. Well, this jury here is going to get is being asked to find all the harms and losses that arose after the crash that Ms. Dannette Griffith was in back in June 6, 2007. Are you okay to talk about that a little bit today?
Yes.
Okay. Why don't you go ahead and start just telling them when you first met Ms. Griffith?
I met her in 2001. My wife and I, which is now ex-wife, moved to the Bentry neighborhood where she lived in August of 2001, and met Dannette sometime in between Thanksgiving and Christmas of 2001.
All right, and tell us all a little bit about how your interaction with Dannette progressed over the next couple of years.
We became very good friends. Her and my wife became best friends. I spent a lot of time together on a regular basis until we moved out of that location in 2005 and then moved to Bradenton.
Okay. And how often did you interact with her between 2001 and 2005?
A few times a week, usually. I mean, when we lived in the neighborhood, it was probably 3 to 4 times a week. When we moved out of it, it's probably only once or twice a month. We went to the same church, and she lived close to that church, so we would stop many times on Sunday after church to see her and things.
Okay. And were you still seeing her pretty regularly before June 6, 2007?
No, once we moved to Bradenton, it was only a couple times a month we'd see her.
Okay. But regularly, once or twice a month?
Yes.
Okay. And go ahead and give the jury an idea about some of the activities that you yourself saw Ms. Griffith before the crash. Yeah.
Pardon?
Before the crash, yeah. Give an idea of what she was like before the crash. So what activities did you see?
Very active. My wife and I had a motorcycle at that time too, and she had a small one. She'd be able to ride that, around the neighborhood and things. Went to the beach a lot. My wife and her liked to go dancing and things. So she was very active. Could do anything, pretty much. I wasn't even aware she really had any disability.
What kind of dancing?
Just freestyle dancing at clubs and things here in Sarasota.
Okay. And describe her personality. Very
upbeat, and she was in sales. That's what she pretty much did her whole life. So my life has always been about sales. So it's about being able to communicate with people, be upbeat, just be salesmen usually are not pessimistic type people.
All right, and would you describe her before June 6, 2007 as being more active or more of a laid-back sort of, lazy guy?
No, very active. We always, when we go over there, we'd always be out by the pool, being active, not sitting inside the house, anything. So she always loved the outdoors a lot. So many times we get together, a lot of things were outdoor type things that we do together.
Okay. And tell the jury about cookouts.
That would be by her pool. She has seating out there, and she'd always be there, or we'd go be over at our house, and just doing regular cookouts. She liked to entertain a lot.
All right. And
She was always a gracious entertainer, as they could say.
before June 6, 2007, had you ever seen her complain? Have you ever complained about the fact of that?
No, she didn't really complain about anything.
Okay. Had you ever seen her decline any kind of activity?
No, never.
Had
You
you
were always able to do things. I mean, there was no restrictions. I didn't have any injuries. My wife didn't have any injuries. We all did the same kind of things constantly.
Okay. Okay, so let's kind of fast forward a little bit to after June 6, 2007. And do you remember the first time you talked to her after that?
Yeah, it was in a few days, a week or something of that nature when the accident happened.
What do you remember about that?
I know she was working for Terminex, and she was doing very well at it, was happy at it. Talked to me to people that she might know that I could refer to, just, very aggressive going out and getting business. After the accident, she, kind of just went dormant. She couldn't work, she couldn't do anything. She would hear from her less and less, actually. She wouldn't get out.
Do you remember any specifics about what parts of her body were bothering her after June 6, 2007? Just describe it.
She was a pretty healthy looking girl. She wasn't skinny or anything. Slowly started noticing, she couldn't, definitely couldn't walk. That her gait just kept getting worse and worse. And, she would slump over and be twisted one particular way. And then, later on, started seeing, some twitching going on, like nerves that just, jerk. And that's pretty much what her life started being like.
Okay. And why are you sure that this started on June 6, 2007, rather than a few months or afterwards?
Well, because it happened within a relatively short time. When I saw her the first time, after that, within a few days, to a week, I saw these things all starting to happen.
Okay.
So, kept contact with her a little, at least a couple times a month. She wasn't able to go to church anymore or anything, so, we'd stop over there after that. So.
Okay. Actually, I think you answered my question about the twitching. Had you ever seen her twitch before this accident of June 6, 2007?
No, never.
Did you ever see her grimace or anything like that before the June 6, 2007?
No, not that I recall. She would act like anybody else at normal at the beach, run, play frisbee, swim, jump through the water. Didn't see anything abnormal.
Okay. And the jury saw her walking up and getting in the chair and then saw her leave a second ago. Is this her behavior here? She's not in the room, so we can talk openly about her. Is her behavior, as you saw here, fairly consistent with the past few years, or has it gotten? Give the jury an idea of how
it seems to progressively get worse. I even had to stay in my house for about 5 or 6 days, just a few months back, because it was, I've got a really nice Tempur-Pedic bed, and I said, well, maybe if you slept in a better bed, it might be better for you. Have neck pillows, right neck pillows. You would just see that she just could not move in the mornings. It was extremely difficult just to get started. It would take a couple hours for her just to get moving where she could loosen up enough to start moving. Trying to bend over to pick up something is a sight to be seen, actually. It's the way she contorts herself just to be able to get down and try to get something. It's not good.
All right. And did you ever get an impression as to whether or not she was just laying around? Was she trying to get better?
Well, she was trying to get help. It took a long time for her to seem to get the help. I'd always hear of, she couldn't get to this doctor, she couldn't see that doctor. It didn't seem like things started getting better until she finally was able to get some on Social Security disability. And then, started seeing some improvements of where she was at before. But that's, I think they changed her medication some, that helped a little. But none of the symptoms went away. Everything was just pretty well severe.
Okay. When did you first notice her starting to have difficulty walking, moving around?
Right away, after that accident. Ever since that accident, she's never been the same ever.
Have you ever seen her limp one time before this accident?
No, I didn't. I wasn't even aware she had. I knew she'd had a previous accident from years ago. She had some things done to her neck, but I never saw any results of that. I had a couple of whiplashes and the chiropractor when I was young and stuff, and still have some problems here and there. But so I understand how that kind of thing feels. But I go to the chiropractor, and she's not much of a complainer. But over the course of time, when you just can't get the help, it just starts really getting depressing. So, she kind of kept in the house and would go to the doctors that she could go to. But just things didn't get better. It just kept getting worse.
No further questions, Your Honor.
All right, Ross.
Thank you, Your Honor. Good morning.
It still is.
So you've known Ms. Griffith since approximately 2001?
Yes.
And you moved out of the neighborhood around 2005?
Yeah.
Okay. Did Ms. Griffith ever tell you about being involved in any other accidents than the accident that you were here for?
She had an accident. She had said she had an accident. Before this one, I knew she had an accident years ago. I think up in Indiana or something. That she had something done to her neck or something of that nature, but I didn't see any restrictions that she was experiencing from that.
The accident we're here for is the only one you know about.
What do you mean?
The accident that we're here for today is the only accident that you know about that involved Dannette Griffith.
No.
What other accident? The one up in Indiana?
Yeah, the one up in Indiana.
Okay, any
That's what
others?
we're talking about. No.
All right.
Yeah. You confused me a little.
I'm sorry. That's a bad question. You consider yourself a good friend?
Yes. Very good. Friend.
And you've kept in good contact with her?
Yes.
And does she come down and stay with you?
I've had her come down and stay at the house a few times.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it brings it.
Are you aware of her narcotic use?
Yes.
And thinking of the point in time of the accident of June 6, 2007, when did you notice this decline that you described where she could not walk, her gait was abnormal, she was twisted and twitching? When did you see that?
It just, I didn't see the twitching until maybe a month or two later. The walking was immediately, she was limping, just could barely, very restricted and, moving.
And did that kind of restricted movement, from your observations when you saw her, continue on until today?
Yes, they keep progressively kept getting worse.
So from the years 2006 all the way up until today, she's had that problem with walking?
Yes.
Have you noticed that she's had the problem from 2006 all the way until today with bending over?
Yes.
And the same question for
2007.
Okay, we'll make it 2007 for just the average daily living activities.
Yeah, it's just been night and day difference.
All right. 2010, same thing.
Yes.
All right. Thank you.
Any redirect?
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, sir, you may step down. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, what we're going to do is go ahead and take our lunch recess today. I'm going to give you till at least 1 o'clock. So if you'll leave your legal pads there in front of you, you're going to be in recess until 1. And remember, you can't discuss this case until it's time for deliberation.
All right, you're ready to
Okay, and who is the witness that you needed to prompt?
James Sokol.
Is he now?
William Sokol. He's here.
All right, go ahead and bring